Alright, hi everyone, this is Greg from Paris once again, but the difference is that we're experimenting today. This is a video test, but it's a video review, but I was told by YouTube that normally this, from now on, my videos should be automatically translated in other languages if needed, or if you did select that in your parameters. You can still, if it works, you can still put this off, the translation off, going to parameters under the video on the right, on the bar, on the menu bar, right? So what I want from you, please, is to tell me if you're not watching this in English, and if YouTube knows that you're using another language. For instance, if you're French, I'm not gonna pronounce any French normally name here, not to contradict the algorithm, the translation, as a try. So yeah, please let me know if you're French, for instance, or if you're from another language that's translated usually in YouTube. If you can have the automatic translations, or if you have to pull it yourself to click on something, I'm interested. Thank you very much for your feedback, and sorry for this long introduction, but yeah, it can be useful, because for me, once I make sure about what's going on, really I will have to take an important decision to no longer do French or English videos language. So I don't know yet, but for now I am still in English. So yeah, bear with me. As you can see on the table, sans transition, I spoke French, without transition, or without further ado, I'm bringing you today three, not two, but three different expressions of Springbank 15 years old, Campbeltown Single-Malt Scotch Whisky. This one I just recently opened, but it's not recent. This one is even older, 2016, but I'm going to tell you everything. And thanks to my pal Menno from Malt Emission, I have this from February 2025. So you can have almost a decade of Springbank 10 in my glasses here, evaluated for you, with the reservation, of course, that a sample is still a sample, and you get to know more about the bottles than the sample, etc., etc. This one has been opened a few days ago, but it's half an hour in the glass now. And initially I wanted to compare it to another 15 years old from a prestigious non-Scotch distillery, but as it is a discontinued bottle I already reviewed, I thought, no, Greg, go with something people can rely to, even if it's not the latest batch. I will see how it differs from the 10 years old Springbank core range as well. But before we do that, bear with me a minute or two, because I need to do an update on my upcoming G&A John and Archibald Mitchell whiskies reviews coming in. It will be impossible, honestly, to do them all before the end of the year, like I initially intended to do. But I promise to do them all to have them all done in 2026, if we'll do another one, probably one or two, maybe only one, before the end of the year. So what is yet to do aside from the 15? I've yet to review Hazelburn 10 years old from 2014. Hazelburn 10 years old, Rundlets and Kilderkins. But also Springbank 11 years old, Rundlets and Kilderkins, which is a fantastic 2012 bottling. Springbank wise, it's not finished. I also have to do, if you follow the channel, you know why I'm explaining that. It's because I have to uncork a lot of Springbanks and families names, Hazelburn, Longrow, because of the conditions here, atmospheric conditions, etc. The corks tend to broke, and often Springbanks family brands have not great quality corks. All the corks, no, the two first corks you see here are not the original ones, for instance. Okay, and then Springbank 12 years old Calvados wood, 2012 bottling, and 17 years old Sherry wood, 2015 bottling. I think I've covered them all, except something I didn't have a few months ago, which is not exactly Springbank, but it is Cadenhead's Campbeltown blended malt Scotch Whisky, 15 years old. It's a 2023 release. So what does that mean? September. It's bourbon hogsheads, 48.2% ABV. This is a cracker, and this is a mix basically of Hazelburn, 15 years old, and Kilkerran, 16 years old. So Kilkerran is Glenguy, right? Owned and run a few weeks per year by the Springbank staff. And this, and I have the Kilkerran 16 already reviewed. Go check the list of the videos, you will find it. Other very recent update, yeah, Cadenhead wise, I had to pick this afternoon, in fact, not this afternoon when it will be published, but after the record. I had to get me one of my favorite whiskies of the year, the Glenallachie 10 years old bourbon cask, haha, from Cadenhead, which was a great surprise in the Salon Club Expert du Gars. Another great surprise was this, which was announced, Kilkerran 8 cask strength, which a bourbon cask matches, which was announced as 2025 release, but in fact it's I know now it's a November 2024 release. Earlier on they had this beautiful, I haven't uncorked yet, but got the bottle cheaper thanks to my pal Menno again. This the sherry cask matured, gorgeous, one of the best. So I thought it was great to get this one recently to have a sparring partner for a future video. So you can see how the maturation plays on Kilkerran Glenguy's distillate. Right, I think we're good. We're going to jump now to the reviews. Bear in mind that you have in the description basically all the stages of the video, the introduction, the update, the 15 years old review, and the 10 years old review. So you can skip and go where you want, but I will be very grateful to you if you can watch it all. Right, so enough disclaimers and announcement. What else? We're gonna go on the first, I think. Yeah, if you want to know, sorry, this is what I forgot. If you want to know about Springbank production specs, as some say, informations, the history, etc., I will just advise you to go through my Springbank 10 5 different expressions, bottlings, batches video, so you will have way more details. I'm not going to talk about details there, just you can see the bottling, the foundation date 1828. Right, so this is what I call the repeated Springbank name motifs black label. It's quite glossy, so not, but you can see that. This replicates also in the tube of that times, a bit damaged, but yeah, it's a Springbank 15 in letters, And yeah, so and then later on they switched to this. So you see simplification and something maybe more contrasted to be noticed from far. So what is this? This is 100% sherry as far as I know, sherry casks. I suppose it's Oloroso all the way because I don't feel that sweetie PX influence. Might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the 20 of October 2016 bottling, batch 16/425. Of course, they're all non-chill filtered, non-colored. 46% ABV, so diluted. This I bought 68 euros instead of 85 in 2016. There was an offer on it, and it was in a hypermarket, means big supermarket within a mall, generally speaking. A big mall nearby. It was a miracle to find a 15 years old in a supermarket, but yeah, you see, there you go. Springbank 15, the next one I'm gonna talk to you about, was bought a bit later on and was 100 euros, and nowadays, and we'll get back to the prices, it's more likely 150 to 200 or more depending on your location. I can only speak about my location in France, which I can find whiskies in shops, in retailing shops, sometimes supermarket, but Springbank less and less, and of course online shops from France and from abroad. Right, enough of it. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna nose this one. I'm gonna nose the two others, and then I'm gonna do the full tasting of each. Right. Also, I'm not super happy about the mic. I hope the sound is still good. I don't do post-production and editing, so before I find a better mic, I'm sorry if the quality is not as good as before. The last time mic did let me down a few videos before. Also, yeah, the legs, I mean, I'm not going to speak a lot about the legs. It's non-chill filtered, it's 46%. They're quite sticking to the glass. I'm not sure you can see them. Still using my trusty glass with a partnership. Spiegelau, don't know how to pronounce that. It's German, but the company who distributes them here is French. It's called Ravinedag. And it's I love that glass, which is Authentis 30. Yeah, so there's a bit of OBA here, even if I pump the air a few times before. So it's more mellow, more melted than this is the 2016. The 2019 is fuller and recently opened, so it's more concentrated. The sample is freshly opened. I didn't want to open it before the video to have the freshest impression, but I already did try it with a lot of oxygen in the bottle at Salon du Gars 2 months ago. So I already have an idea of how it tastes and how good it is. But they're all good, spoiler. Surprise? Okay, so it's something I really like in this 15 that you don't have in the 10 as much. Of course, there are batch variations. It's the leather and old books, and more dark chocolate. If I want to summarize the video and finish it now, no. I could say that. Leather, old books, and I know what are old books working in a library and having worked in 4 other libraries. Some with a very old bunch of books, shelves. What did I wrote on this one? Make sure I don't have, yeah, 2016 is there. Powerful, expressive, so a bit less now. A bit farmy, peated, bit petroly, bit green, with some hay and tea. There's something that at the beginning I feel it very tiny now, but the mid bottle past the neck pour and up to the half, let's say, there was a bit more rubbery notes, like you can find often in Ben Romach. And for those interested in the comparison, by the way, of a Springbank 12 cask strength and Ben Romach 9 cask strength, I did a live show with those two. Check it out. Yeah, what else? Over infused Earl Grey tea. Typically, this malted barley with a very almost organic feel, so a bit farmy, bit not cow stable, but yeah, quite some character in it. So this is the 2016. Very quickly, and I will go back to it, the 2019. That's more almost industrial feel, less of this farmy and less of this bit petrol-y effect feel. There's something cleaner, but also there's something more, I don't know the word in English, raffinated. I mean, something slightly industrial. I'm not sure it's the good word. And everything seems down-tuned. It will maybe open up in the glass more, a bit down-tuned compared to the previous one, but still there with the leather, etc. But I'll get back to it later on. 2025 now. Ooh, more dark chocolate and maybe some milk chocolate and mocha. Not sure. Again, sticky legs. Something maybe with some fresh tea leaves. Maybe some laurel. So the three are different. Interesting. I think this needs more shaky, as some world famous guy with a hat would say. More shaky moves. Yeah, I'm gonna let it breathe. The 10 is different. It's more bourbon forward, bourbon cask maturation forward. You can less feel the peat smoke, but it's deceiving on the nose because I tried it yesterday again, and it has some punch, peat smoke wise. Right, I think the best thing now is to go back to the 15. This 15 2016 release. Yeah, so all that I previously said, again, I'm gonna go back to it. So yeah, not that farmy now, but some delicate peat smoke, not really petrol-y, but slightly on the background diesel feel. Green tea, slightly rubbery, not that much. Some leather, dark chocolate. There's some floral notes, maybe some lilac and gorse. I also have these notes, very slightly heather, which have probably made relevant the Highland Park comparison at some point, especially the old school ones. And some tiny red fruits, but this is quite different from the 12, I have to say. Almost every 12 I got, 12 years old, Okay, on the palate, Sanjava. Ooh, wow. Hmm. The arrival is sweet. The attack, as I say often. Then mid palate kicks off with some spices and oak tannins, um, and the dark chocolate enters and bit more pit smoke, but this stays very balanced. And the layers are coming one after the other, and sometimes at the same, almost the same time. But you see, it's something like a wave. You get the leather, dark chocolate, the old books, library feeling, or bookshop, and then you get some licorice. Forgot to mention licorice, black licorice, réglisse, dried fruit indeed. I get even some hint of cocoa, weirdly. Malted barley, tobacco for cigars of Havana cigars. Slightly floral note, yeah, I wrote lilac. Of course, black tea, I forgot to mention. Um, I mean, it's funky. It's more funky than sherry, to be honest. And there's almost this bourbon bourbon feel rather than sherry, so it's weird. I hope I'm not mistaken on the 100% sherry there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I couldn't find more infos. I'm gonna dilute it just a bit. Maybe go back to all the three when they were all diluted at the same level. 2 drops. Ooh, more licorice, more, forgot to mention black pepper and ginger, not sure. Black pepper, uh, maybe some slightly acidulous pepper, so maybe Sichuan or Timut pepper. We'll add a bit more for the comparison's sake. It's true, this one I haven't got much left. We'll need a replacement maybe later on, because it's quite a luxury thing to replace this now. Okay, we'll leave that for later if needed. Okay, we're gonna move to this one now. 2019, 3 of January 2019, coming with this box. You know that 10 years old comes no longer with a box. This I'm not sure it comes with a box now, but when I bought it, it did. Batch is 19/224. There's no mention of how many bottles per batch. I'm not sure that 2 batches per year, as there is 2 or more for the 10 years old. I don't have the info. Also very important to mention, I'm not sure this age stated 15 years old doesn't contain older cask in some respect. I mean, in a few amount, probably not much, but this is possible because it has quite some depth, whilst only stated as 15 years old. You know that practice I already told you about Highland Park. I have a lot of Highland Park yet to cover. Expressions, not a lot recent ones. Though I'm interested in New Heather, and there's a cask strength 16 years old, which is probably going to be hefty. Out now with some Swedish oak. Weird thing. New oak has to be a minority, I hope. in the mix. Okay, this one. So on the nose, like I said, it's mellow, but also just open. So how much time now? 1 hour in a glass. So something a bit frustrating, more industrial, maybe. I don't know if metallic is a decent, appropriate note. Not sure about that. There's something, yeah, industrial, still some pit smoke, but second, playing second fiddle, let's say. Same for the old library. I don't really feel it. Cigar, that's the same. Yeah, I got some pit smoke bordering a bit of coal as well, and dark chocolate. Okay, let's see how that translates to the palate. Sanjava once again. Ooh. It's, for now, of course, more tannic than the previous one. The spectrum of flavors seems restrained, but in my experience, I know it's gonna open up. So, apologies if the reviews is coming too soon about this one. But also some tiny oxidation, betraying the not winey notes, but it's something almost yeah, oily, suggesting overripe red fruit. The overripe red fruit note was present in 2016, but all these do not seem as present as in the 12 years old cask strength expressions. These 15, all I tried over the years, are more oak oriented, let's say, tannin and oak, tannins from the oak more than tannins from the wine. You know, the two types of tannins, right? But it doesn't feel over oaky. I don't want to make you think, because of the color as well, which is natural, that it can be over oaky. It is not. I mean, it's not what I felt the first time I was drinking my Knob Creek 9 years old bourbon, straight bourbon. That's too tannic for me, way too dry as well. But yes, these Springbank 15s are drier. Usually you will see that maybe than the 10 years old expression. An under reservation opinion there, because there are batch variations, as you know, and I cannot try every 10 years old released since 20 years and every 15 12 but I tried a lot. Right, so dried fruits again. Second sip before diluting. Maybe I have to look at my notes now regarding that 2019. I did raw cherry, red fruit, dark chocolate. Yeah, a bit sooty and chimney fire. Yeah, close to be, I mean, to die, so being almost an extinguished fire smoke feeling. Black tea and Earl Grey tea again. So that one I had it for 100 euros in 2022. It was a dusty bottle on a retailer, suburb retailer. I was going by chance, let's say, while going to see a friend. And I mean, I think the clientele, the customers for this special retailer, while he has some decent choice of whiskies, is apparently not lot spirits oriented. So it was the last bottle, but this kind of bottle there for €100 in 2022, in my opinion, normally shouldn't have stayed that long, because it attracts speculation as flippers, but also collectors. But as I understand it, these guys didn't know what there was there. Okay. Okay. Slightly winey now, betraying the Oloroso, which is quite a dense one. I mean, doesn't come across as a young Oloroso or a young Fino, or but rather something bordering old school sherry, while I'm not sure it is. But yeah, somehow a bit less appealing than the previous one, I'd say, but still very good. Yeah. Lovely whiskey, a bit austere, not for the beginners, but very satisfying when you know the distillery's liquid history a bit, like I think I can say, for 20 years plus, 27. So for me, it evokes immediately old library, also old shoe shop with a kind of polish. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, polish device, and you can smell, feel now on the palate, but you can smell there are several kinds of shoes. To go on this metaphor, several kinds of shoes with different kinds of leather. Some are polished, some are not. Some have also taken the odors of the tea of the dead leaves of the season while going outside. I mean, there's a lot of history around leather. Also, maybe some papers on the ground that the shoes did also carry on. I mean, something slightly rotting, but it's still pleasant as a tobacco leaf for some cigar. Not really some bitterness. I'm gonna keep some for later on after the 2025 to give you my conclusions, if they can be. Not gonna give you a proper rating for this one, but let's say that usually I rate those 15. The previous one, 92, seems probably high regarding nowadays standards. Maybe mine will go probably to 89 for each of these. Don't know yet for the 2025. 89, 90 seems more reasonable. But with time, they are often a bit beyond 90, 91. Okay, I got in the glass now a 2025 release of the. Yeah, should drop this off. Take this off, sorry. So thanks to my pal Menno, and yeah, I know it's a small. It's a sample. I have a 2025 release of the 15 years old. Thanks, Menno. Go to check his very good and documented blog called Maltmission on wix.com. Great reviews of whiskies, bottles and samples. Yeah, I know some I did send to him, as he sends me there. And also like I like to do, not in this video, but usually, because it's not the first time I spoke about Springbank, right? He puts things in perspective, the context in which he speaks about the whiskey or the whiskies, if there are numerous ones, etc., and honest opinion after that. Bit of a rant also. I would like to do that. So yeah, this one's for you, my friend, Slangeva Menno. But yes, Slangeva is when you try it, we're on the nose, still. So still 46%. I added some details. I learned now it's where did I wrote that? Not here. It's not good, Greg. 7, probably on 7 of February, bottled 7 February 2025. I haven't done any notes for that. 7, alright. On the nose. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a mix of the two, honestly, 2016 and 19. So yeah, there's a conducting line, a red line, following. I mean, on all those three it's the leather for me. Bit of black licorice, underwood notes, of course, a bit of licorice, I said, and old books, and peat smoke, a bit sooty, is also the thing in common with those, and with some batches of the 10, as we might see. So lovely nose as well, a bit restrained, a bit more austere than the 10 and other expressions, again. But yeah, quite a nice nose. Let's see how it translates on the palate. Mm. Wow, very beautiful. Love it. Yeah, a bit prickly on the palate. And a few seconds after I got it on the palate, it got a bit prickly, but not that much. And getting sweeter as long as we go up to the finish, which is delicate, suave, we could say, and complex, and a lot more melted than the two first ones, which is very interesting regarding all these notes of, you know, dark ripe fruits. All three have, but maybe this one has a bit more dark chocolates, bordering to bitterness for the previous one, and also this very delicate smoke. It's the most delicately smoky of those three so far. Of the three, struggling to speak English today. My mouth is a bit sticky. What else? Let's go back to it before diluting it. Yeah, there's a different oaky note than the two others. But let's say 60-70% of the oaky notes of the wood are the same for the three. But there's not much difference on those three. Let's add some, again, 2 drops only. You know, when you have a quite sherry forward profile, even if it's not red fruit, it's not a sherry bomb, the 15. But you might just excite the tannins, and that's all, if you put too much water, and ruin the experience. Oh, beautiful oak. Once open, gonna add just a bit more for the last comparison before doing the 10 very quickly. That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna let it rest and go back to the 3. I'm not gonna rinse my palate in between. Just to save time. So it's not the ideal conditions, but I don't want to do 2 hours video, right? Some of you have already enough with almost 1 hour. So back to 2016. Pure, delicate, very opened. Of course, it's the one with the least high level of the 3. Beautiful. I mean, there's something about Springbank oakiness melted with smoke, peat smoke, that you forgive them almost always if it's a bit austere and not as generous fruit-wise that you would like maybe, but you always forgive them what you don't forgive, what I don't forgive to other brands. I don't know why. There's something, it's the style, I guess. It's the style of Springbank. I don't know how much the webs or and the dusty casks are involved in that. I will ask that question soon to someone special. Okay, the 2019 has something a bit waxy, slight sulfur maybe showing off now. Yeah, sulfur, but very discreet. Yeah, there's a bit of sulfur in 2019. I got it now. Interesting. I mean, it's good. All 3 are good. Just have to write down. So it's 19, right? Okay, sulfur. Have to write this down. Okay, now did I mistake with no, I haven't touched it yet. Oh, be careful, Greg. Yeah, 2025 is really nice. Probably the best of the 3, but we have to wait the 2019 to get more opened and drunk. Always responsibly, right? We have now, what do I have now as a comparison is no reason, but because this one I have a 10 years old from, I have to think of the podcasters, podcast mode listeners always, because if I don't then give them the details, they'll be unhappy. So never reviewed, because I reviewed 4 or 5 with 100 proof previous one, and spoiler, I have a sample thanks to Benny Barfly. Have a sample of the new 5 years old 100 proof also to review that I couldn't find a bottle here in France. So I'm very happy and grateful to Benny for that. Thanks, my friend. Okay, now it's 10 years old, reduced to 46%, right? Bottled 17 of August 2021, batch 21/120, and for this one, it's a very rare case. It did happen maybe 3 or 4 times in 27 years. It's a donation. The bottle already open and around 5 to 10 centiliters off. I do not accept open bottle unless I know the source and it's very reliable, etc. But yeah, Neil Barfly, living here but originally from England, I won't say more because I don't want to embarrass him, But yeah, Neil F, for those who know him, yeah, very gently last year donated 3 bottles of G&A Mitchell products. Kilkerran 16, the same batch that I have. Um, Longrow 18, the 2018, which I'm gonna compare to the 2008 I have, when the very first batch is phenomenal stuff. And also this 10 years old. So thank you so much, Neil, for this. Right, on the nose. Different. There's way less. There's almost no leather. There's not this old book feeling. It's younger. It's different. The DNA they have in common with the 15, of course, is that bit smoke bordering, a bit sooty, coaly, and this bit dirty cereal malted barley feeling. But aside from that, for now, this I never reviewed, so very nice notes, very balanced between all those notes. Also some dried fruits there, sultanas and dates. Okay, on the palate. Springbank. Springbank 10. A bit prickly, a bit peppery. I don't. Neil donated those 3 bottles, believe me or not, because he didn't like them, and he didn't want them to be used for reviews or just my satisfaction, because he understood I would probably enjoy these more than him, which still surprised me because I love those 3 he donated to me. But I understand where he's coming from, because it's true that this 10 has something a bit more aggressive spices wise than the others I have. I think I have a 2022 yet to review. It comes across a bit more aggressive, less now than when it was donated with at this level, let's say. I enjoy it when you gave it to me, but I enjoy it. It has changed a bit. I still enjoy it now. Yeah, I understand why someone would not like this, because the malted barley generosity, very bourbon forward. There was in the late. You have to see my video about 4 or 5 different 10 years old, because I'm going back through the cream label 10 years old up to this orange and black label. So I'm not gonna be long on this, but the very bourbon and cereal forward, clean cereal forward is not there, no longer there. So we have something a bit darker, slightly dirtier, a bit sootier about the pit smoke, and more black pepper. But it's not overpowering for me. It's not over aggressive. I'm used to that in Springbank, so I can enjoy this bottle, right? Gonna open it up, see if it changes. And I really like the uniqueness and funkiness of Springbank. Yeah, nicely oxidative notes from the 35% sherry, probably component, bringing on some overripe red fruit, but you can still feel something vivid on the background that gives some light to the darkness of the let's say bit tannic bourbon casks. But this is not overpowering. It's an okay, Springbank 10 and even more 15 is an acquired taste. But this is, to me, maybe I'm too experienced to criticize. I don't know. But I do like this. Score wise, I'm not sure I've scored that one. Yeah, I did score it a bit hard in the beginning, but now it's getting way better. I did score it 87, which is still a great score, but I think I can increase that. I just need more time with the bottle. I think this is gonna be around 88 plus, something like that, right? If you want to know. But yeah, I don't want to be too long. It's 50 minutes already. I'm gonna stop there. So there you have it, a bit of history of Springbank in almost 10 years, 9 years of the 15, and a bit of comparison with the 10. Hope you like it. Let me know, please, what's your, yeah, first, if you got this in different language automatically or if you ask for it. And then what do you think of the 15? Did you have a bottle or several batches? What's your experience with the 15? And you agree? I mean, the notes, tasting notes are very personal, right? But do you find the same kind of notes? What's your thoughts about the 15? Some really don't like the 15 and prefer the 10. Other people are mixed or love the two, like me, but I know they're two different beasts. And by two, we should say hundreds because of the batches, variations. But yeah, let me know. Thank you very much and see you soon for something else. Bye bye.